I am Jackie Taylor. I'm the program director at the Glen Sheehan Women's Program. So over the years, I've done every position in this house. I went from volunteering to, RS or recovery specialist. I've done intake, case management, and now program director. So I am also in recovery. I had applied to Sheehan while I was sitting in a detox at High Point in Plymouth. I waited about 6 weeks to get in, and once I got here, it was just a journey for me. I had to deal with a lot of hard decisions very early in my recovery, which shaped pretty much the rest of my journey. I am very passionate about the Sheehan House, in all areas, like not even just, because I work here, but the amount of change and growth that I did while I was here, the support and the guidance that from the people that worked here at that time, it was tremendous, and it made such an impact on my life that I knew then that this is what I was going to do, and I changed everything. I have a lot of favorite memories from that time, and a lot of it is the crew that was in here with me at that time. I'm still friends with 5 of them. Right? Like I work with one of them. It's been a lot of belly laughs, a lot of, realizing our behaviors and a lot, but we did it all together. Like it wasn't, and not one of us was like, oh, we're okay with that behavior you're not supposed to be doing, or, we pulled each other up in such a way that, it impacted all of us, and we're all still friends today. For me, we did a morning, which we actually still do now, but a morning meditation group, and every single day, we read and we talked about it as the whole group, and it really impacted the rest of my day, and I could feel it if I didn't do it one day, or I wasn't here for it, so we still do it today, and it's a lot of people, that's the one group that nobody wants to miss, and then after, the clinical director and the program director at the time and a case manager would sit in the living room. They sat out in the living room, and you would have a group without even realizing it was a group. It wasn't a scheduled group, it was just they were sitting out there, residents would come join them, and then we were talking about triggers, or how we can prevent struggling for going home with our kids on the weekends, or anything. It was no subject or it was just whatever was going on in the moment, and it turned into so many lessons of not even realizing what was happening. Routine and structure, consistency. We tend to like living in chaos, and chaos can really take you down a dark path, whether that's using or not, and it comes out in behaviors, and without that consistency and routine and learning how to be consistent, I think that's one of the biggest things that has benefited my recovery personally, is getting up and being able to take a shower, or go brush my teeth, make my bed. Those are all things that a lot of people are like, well, yeah, that's part of life, but no, it wasn't part of our life. When we're out there using and in the grips of our addiction, that is not part of our life, and some people are out there for much longer times and don't have a roof over their head or an option to take a shower, or know how to clean or cook. The skills that I was able to kind of build back while I was here for 10 months was, the cooking, the routine, the, clean your room, take the trash out, all those little things that, might be normal to someone that isn't in the grips of addiction, that we have to relearn how to live. We have to relearn how to take out the trash and know that like it's overflowing, like it's time to go, and brush our teeth every day, and make a doctor's appointment. Some of us haven't seen a doctor in years, if ever, right? So those are all the skills that I think that really helped me grow and is still carried on here. I sat with my case manager a lot. I had mentioned before, I had to make a very big decision very early on in recovery. I made a very hard decision to make a adoption agreement with family members for my children, which was, in the moment, the most stable thing that I could have done for them. Hardest for me. But now it's, I have all my kids in my life. I have a granddaughter. They understand now, not so much when they were younger, but, seeing at that time, I've never picked up since then. So they've never had to deal with the 2 years that they had to deal with again. My relationship with my kids are very good right now, and one of them, it took a very long time to get there. Things don't happen when I want them to happen. And a lot of that, working with my case manager, she drilled in me, it's not my time. It's not what I want or, what I should expect, right? Like, I'm clean, people should just talk to me now. No, there's a lot of work that goes into there. There's a lot of damage that we create, and we need to work on that. I was able to do that with my case manager and do the best decision for my children at that point. And today I have them all back in my life, and we go to races, we, go get our nails done, we do all those little things that I thought I would never be able to do with them again. We do dinners and, everything you can think of. And we do it all together, and it took a while, and I really never thought I would actually see the day I would have all 4 kids and a granddaughter in one room again. It was a lot of years of, you can see this one and this one, all separated. But I think one of the biggest things that I even say to our residents now is, it's not in our time. Just keep pushing, just keep doing the right next thing, and it will happen. But you have to be consistent, and you have to show them that actions speak louder than words. I stopped telling them I'm never going to use again, you know what I mean? Because I didn't know. Tomorrow could be a very bad day, and you don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. So I just started showing them, and then, days added up and years added up, and, now I'm almost at 11 years. Right now, I'm seeing a lot of things that are kind of bringing me back to my time. Like, I remember that belly laugh, we just did the eclipse. We just, things as simple as watching an eclipse outside. There was a whole bunch of people outside, and they're singing, they're dancing, you see their smiles from ear to ear. Sometimes I sit up on the porch and just like take that in, because, I think as, staff and a former resident, we tend to get wrapped up in the day-to-day, but being able to step back and see, like, this is what we're here for, like, she hasn't laughed the whole time she's been here, and she is literally bent over holding her stomach, and seeing that for the first time, and those moments are the moments that probably bring the most, not relief, but happiness for me. Like, realizing, like, we are doing good work,